Once we've built a class book for you and it's ready in your blended teaching account, it's time to add it into your course in Desire to Learn, or otherwise known as Brightspace. This is a really simple process which is done just with a few clicks, and we have used a setup called deep linking to make this really straightforward. And so let's kick things off with your starting point, which is going to be to navigate to the course that you'd like to add your content to. So here, I actually want to be in this course. So if I click this drop down, I can navigate to Ascend Course 3, a simple demo course that we've built for this example. And from here, what I'll need to do is select Content and then select Existing Activities. And so here I can see an option, blended teaching, add dev content. It's worth noting this might be labeled something different depending on what your LMS admins have set it up as. We'll let you know what it will be called. And so don't worry about that, but it should be called something along the lines of blended teaching. And you'll see the name effectively of blended teaching within this option here. And there should only be one. Now I'll select blended teaching, add dev content, and from here, what you will see is bear with me, is an option to add your learning materials. Now, typically what's going to happen here at this point is you're going to be asked to add a short code, normally 8 digits, and we'll provide this to you in an email. So once you've added your 8-digit code and clicked enter, you'll see your specific set of learning materials. Now, normally you'll just have one of these class books, but you might have multiple if you've got multiple different professors within your institution who are using blended teaching. Simply put, though, you'll just need to select the class book that is built for your specific course. And so let's go with this example here. And from here, you'll be able to select all of the modules that you want to add into your course. Now, what I would recommend doing here is making sure that you've got the right structure in place before you add those modules in. So let's say, for example, we want to keep the same structure that we have here. Then I would recommend starting with adding a submodule, calling it Introduction. And we've got our submodule. Now I can add my existing activity, and I'm going to select just that first module here. Now the next one is going to be 5 attributes of real estate value. And so now I can add my submodule, 5 attributes. Now that that is done, I can add my existing content in exactly the same way. Now, I've done 2 where I've just got one module included for each, and it's just pulled those in. And let's say, for example, now we want to go into finance fundamentals. Here we are. So I've got my new submodule here. I'm going to add those activities that are in line with that submodule. So I just select these here. Now, one thing that's worth noting here is that if you want to build quizzes that are run within D2L, don't select the quiz option here, because that will take your students through to blended teaching. And so if you're using this approach, instead, ignore the financial theory quiz in this example and use our QTI tool. And we've got an example guide and a breakdown of how exactly to use this tool in the onboarding class book. And so if you take a look in there, you'll be able to see how to build your own customized quizzes that run directly within D2L within there. And so here we are. I'll add those 5 modules, and there we have it. Now, of course, this is just one way that you might structure this content within the course, but really it's just a question of designing it in the way that fits best for you. And so you might have an existing week by week structure that you'd like to follow. And if that's the case, you might actually want to include content from multiple different topics within one of those submodules or within one module. So really it's up to you to build this out in the way that works best for your students and your class structure. And really that is all there is to it. Once you have added those links, they'll be ready to go. And for your students, when they click on those links, they'll be taken straight through to blended teaching, where they'll be able to access that material. Now, it's worth noting that when they click on that link, in this way, they'll be taken through, they'll have single sign-on set up, so it'll automatically create an account for them and authenticate it. And once they're in blended teaching, in that new tab will open up with the navigation removed that they would normally see within the platform, so that they know exactly where to go, and they're able to work through specifically the content that they need to work through for that part of the class. And so there we have it, how to set up blended teaching in Brightspace D2L.